Hi figure collectors, welcome back to my channel. My name is EldinHeart, and today's video is going to be more Halloween focused and seasonal figures. And also, I do have some updates. So, today's updates are just me and MFC and looking at figures I've been waiting just to go on pre-order. And I've been waiting a really long time on Natives, Aoba and Kojaku figure set. They'll be released together. And so far it looks so good to me. I can't say that I really care on the revisions. Don't really have an opinion. I just want it on order. Because it's been so long. And we don't really have that many Fujoshi, boys love figures, catering to us. And so it's really cool to have kind of this figure come out. It's kind of a figure of BL relationships and romance, and I'm really into that. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, it is very risque. It's gonna come with probably swap out faces and body parts and less clothing. So much of that in, female figures, not enough of that in male figures, and there's definitely a following I feel strong enough to support that. So I'm excited for that to go on pre-order. I think in the next 2 days from this video, maybe even when this video is released, it'll be on pre-order on Native's website, but I've been waiting for that for a really long time, and so I'm really excited to get that out, and just on pre-order. And then, so my next update is I've made a change of heart. I wasn't really into the Genshin Impact figures, and now my partner's playing it, and I just feel like I need to get on board. I like the designs, and right now I'm only into it for the designs. I'm not playing the game. It's on my bucket list. Right now I'm playing Rune Factory 5, a JRPG that has no figures, maybe a few plushes, but it's not that popular. But I'm really excited playing that game. But when I don't want to miss out on this figure, Mona, that GS Good Smile is distributing, and so I'm hoping to. She's not on pre-order with me, but I'm hoping that I can catch her when she's released and just order her on her own and get her shipped. So we'll see. It's a very popular figure. You wouldn't miss it on the front of MFC's popular page, list of figures there. So I'm hoping to, make sure I don't miss out on that. Who knows what the aftermarket will be like. I don't know. I think there's quite a few people upset with the figure with the base, but so far I don't really see any issues with that, for me anyways. So hoping to get that in. And then last update, but of course, I've found my new guilty pleasure of collecting, and that is the Target. So Target has these birds, and they're super cheap. So of course, people don't have, a million collections. Figure collecting on its own is really expensive. How many more collections can you have? How much space do you have for the collection? And so I found myself finding these birds super cheap at Target. They're like $5. I don't know. They're not anywhere else but, Target. So, of course, that's just kind of US. And so these are the birds, just kind of in hand, and they come with names, and again, they're super cheap, and they're cheap on their own. I mean, the material is just these fabric birds, and I swear they're made with product that's not used, but I don't know that for a fact, but I really love them. They're super cute, and of course, coincidentally, I saw Mommy Tan, so in a group. So these birds, they're popular enough to have groups of people looking out for these birds because they sell out right away. There's kind of a demand. And I've been watching, Target's website, because you can get them a little bit easier on their website, but they don't stay up for long. They do not live on the shelves at Target. They're so, I want to say they're affordable enough where someone just swoops them into their cart and then leaves and then sells them in the aftermarket. But they're so cute. So this one's missing an ear. But again, this one has a name. It's Screech. Super cute. I love them. I'm don't have that much space. These are very like shelf figures. I don't really care about the dust on them too much. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see Mommy Tan again in a different capacity. And I think they started in like 2017, so they've been out a while. They don't get re-released. Really, I haven't seen that anyway, and so there is definitely a nasty aftermarket for the older ones, but that's where I've been at with another collection. Now, of course, we're talking about Halloween, so there's my Halloween birds. Of course, they have Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day, and they have the 4th of July and summer birds, so there's a lot to collect in their seasonal area, so there is that. But as for this video, I wanted to talk about some of the cool figures that have come out along the years that I really feel like embody, October and Halloween, and anime definitely has this trend of putting favorite characters and these cool outfits, and sometimes that illustration becomes figures, and so of course we've gotten quite a few figures since forever. So I want to talk about some of my favorite ones and my thoughts on seasonal figures. So my first example, or my first figure that I really feel like impacted me in my Halloween figure journey has got to be the Halloween Miku Nendoroid. And so right now I just have the box. She's displayed kind of tucked away in my other room. But she's really cool. Now, like, this one was, I want to say, my first Halloween Nendoroid, Halloween figure in general, because I thought this was like this is so cool. It's limited, I don't want to miss out, I don't want to have second thoughts, and I haven't regretted it since I dove into it. But this figure, specifically this Halloween version Hatsune Miku, was released in 2014, I think first at an expo and then eventually on their website. And so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss out, and then they put it up on pre-order. I swear at the time, if I'm remembering it right, that there was just a demand, like, please put it on your website, like, we can't make this expo, and I think maybe could have been San Diego or in Japan only, and so eventually it got a lot of expo releases, but they did put it on their website. I'm like, I don't want to miss out. Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I can make second guesses later on. So I bought her, and she's so good. She's kind of a challenge to put together, I'm not gonna lie. Has lots of pieces, and I also think it's funny with this one that she comes with a candy cane. So that's kind of fun. But so that's this one. There was another Halloween Miku. It's from the Project Diva, I believe, game. And it's the Sweet Pumpkin version and it's maybe not necessarily a Nendoroid, it's kind of a sub-Nendoroid of the Code series. And so that one's also notable. Super cute. That one's more, has more candy in it. She's in almost a pumpkin outfit, and it's super cool to see. And I think at that time, a lot, Nendoroids, you can swap out their pieces, and specifically that one, you could, just have anybody in that outfit the same way this one is, but specifically that one I felt like they were pushing more for, it could be Miku or it could be your favorite character in this outfit. So I thought that was really cool, and I always think those Diva idol outfits on Nendoroids are super well detailed, so amazing that they can get that as a Nendoroid. So my next Halloween type figure is the 7 Deadly Sins figure series. That series was manufactured by Amakuni, and I think it started probably way before, I'm imagining 2015. That's the one that I was eyeing. The one that caught my eye in the series is Beelzebub, and she's so cool because, of course, she has an orange base, she's got a pumpkin, so I'm kind of focusing on some of the ones that are heavily influenced, showing off kind of this Halloween vibe, and so she has pumpkins as a part of her base with this neon orange base, and then chains around her with a flying pumpkin. And so I'm like, that's very, like, if you want to get away with a figure that's kind of Halloweenish, specifically her. But the whole series is really cool. I'm loving Lucifer. I think there's Wrath. I don't know if that's the name, but I remember specifically Lucifer I was looking at, and I thought how cool she was. But Beelzebub, I was just thinking about if I wanted to make a Halloween shelf that get her, but I really feel like I steered away from this series specifically because if I get one, I'm gonna need all of them. I think there's more than 7 deadly sins. I think there's more than that. I thought they came out with 8 or 9. And so I never really went into that because I already had horrible pre-orders at the time, and shipping wasn't great, and the yen conversion wasn't great, and you know, I wasn't really into seasonal, Halloween, Christmas figures. That's kind of a thing that comes out every year, and so I just kind of decided against it. I haven't revisited it yet, but I do like this figure of Beelzebub, so maybe I'll go back for it. Who knows? But I just remember at the time, I was really thinking about it, really clinging up with that pre-order button on it. So then my next figure is still another series. So some of these are going to be just the figure, and some of it's a series, or just mentioning a few of the character. And so for this one, it's the Horror Bishoujos series. Now this whole list could be like ranking them from like best to worst, specifically in Bishoujo, because there are so many now, and I've lost count of how many they have. But specifically, the one that I passed on and I kind of hate myself for is the Michael Myers Halloween horror set, So I missed out on that one, and it's so cool because, of course, Michael Myers' mask's on the ground. The Bishoujo series is a gender swap, as if you don't know that already, but she's kind of on a pumpkin, and of course it's from the Halloween movies. So I think that's kind of a no-brainer that she's kind of the front of the Bishoujo when I'm talking about a Halloween list, but all of them are amazing. They're all classics. Some of the movies are a little bit more campy than I would like. So one Bishoujo I'm still waiting for them to make is like an Ellen Ripley or an Alien. I don't know how they would do it, but I would die just to have them do this collaboration with Shunya to illustrate this, because that would be kind of cool. Because I feel like Alien is a classic enough to get a Bishoujo. So I'm hoping that, but all of them are good. I think my favorite series is probably Chucky out of what exists. So of course I have Tiffany and Chucky. Let's hope that they make, I can't remember their kid's name now at the top of my head, but I hope that they make, Glenn. I hope they make Glenn or Glenda, kind of a comedic character. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but you gotta make the family. So hoping that we see that in the future. But one thing about all of the horror Bishoujos is they never cease to make a very nice base. I think Tiffany and Chucky kind of got the simplistic bases, but for the most part, very well detailed bases. They really thought about it with the movie and put that into the figure, tied that into the base. So, of course, if you're thinking about a Halloween shelf, it could literally just be Bishoujo. So, okay, so this next one, there's gonna be a few Mikus and then a few Miku inspirations. So this next one is, I believe it's called Calne-Ca, or Calne Calcium, and it's from Union Creative. It was made in like 2014 or something like that. But she's really hard to come by, but she's super, super creepy. So this Calne-Ca is pretty much cosplaying Miku. I think the first figure was of Miku, and she's like this robotic, almost spider-like robot who I guess sings and cosplays as characters. And so she cosplays Miku. She has like a nurse outfit. She has a US flag or American or however you want to go about describing it, but of course red, white, and blue outfit. And they're super creepy. Honestly, I was so creeped out. I'm like, oh my god, this can't be in my collection. But I have an appreciation. I do like, I like horror movies. I like the creepy factor. I like the spooky factor. And so later on down the line, I kind of like, oh, I kind of wish maybe I would have gotten it. Who knows? I just think that she is so cool. And anyone who loves her and got her, like, good on you. She's super hard to find now. But any shelf that wants to be super creepy or questionable, this is the figure to get. So I was kind of initially also cautious about Union Creative at the time because they were making a lot of figures with triangle bases, and it wasn't just with like one series. Like they had Seraph at the end having these triangular bases, they had Psychopaths getting these triangular bases, and they were so ugly to me. They're so, I mean, they're just black triangles with a peg that you stick into it, and I'm like, that's just so lazy and boring, and they were kind of overpriced at the time, so I didn't justify any of that. So I on this figure, I'm not particularly sure. It's really less about the base and more about this figure, but you know, putting all factors together, I did pass up on this figure because I thought it was too creepy to be on my shelf. So, but it was so cool, you know, later on, years later, I think it's a really cool figure. Now, I'm still sticking with the Union Creative figures, and so specifically Halloween Miku again, and she's got a re-release. She's coming out apparently this month. Hopefully no delays. I hope to see, you know, specifically like 10, 15. I mean, like I'm not really into delays because it makes another month kind of harder. And honestly, I don't even look at how much a month is. I just pre-order my favorite figures and hope that it's not all in one month because I'm terrible at budgeting. But she's coming out this month apparently, and hopefully no delays. She was originally released in 2017, and I passed up on her because she was a Halloween figure, and I'm like, you know, she kind of looks like a prize figure. Sometimes I thought Union quality was not very good, especially early on. I thought, I just don't like the quality here. It's choppy, the seam lines, they're there. I thought like the paint job wasn't very good. The bases were extremely boring, so I'm like, it's not worth buying for any extra detail of the figure. But so I passed up on this, and I passed up thinking that she would bin. And she never ended up binning, and I think she was delayed a few times as well initially. And I was hoping she was gonna bin, because she's kind of the ultimate Miku Halloween figure, or maybe even ultimate Halloween figure. She's so cool. And so they re-released her again. I'm really surprised because I don't see that many re-releases for Union Creative. And hopefully she comes out, but she's surrounded by candy, she's floating, you know, at first I didn't like the translucent pegs, and now I'm like, that's fine. Honestly, just different ways to have a, you know, rather than a stagnant figure that's just standing, she's doing more than that, and it's super cool. And I love her stockings, I like the design, her hair being two tones, so that's really cool. I'm excited to have her. I hope to get to review her. And let's see how Union's quality has changed, because 2017 to now, no excuses, right? No excuses. Let's get a good quality figure, so. My next one is another Nendoroid. So I think it's called Lebeccio. It's a Nendoroid from the Calne-Ca collection, and so I haven't been following this series for a while, but I bought this Nendoroid literally because I like the accessories. So like, she's kind of categorized and tagged as a Halloween figure on MFC, but it's really because of the accessories. I don't know anything about the figure or the character. And I've watched the show Calne-Ca Collection, the first season. I don't know if they've come out with another season. I'm so behind on that, but I really liked the designs of the Calne-Ca Collection characters, and so this one, I didn't really care about the character or her design. I just, literally at the time, I was buying a lot of Nendoroids because of their accessories, and she comes with quite a few accessories, candy and pumpkins, and she comes with a whole nother body, another outfit, and the other notable thing is she's a dark-skinned figure, so not that that was an influence on my purchase, but notable, because they don't have that many tan-skinned figures. But yeah, that was just one. It was a moment in time where I was buying a lot of Nendoroids, and a lot of Calne-Ca Collection Nendoroids got fun accessories. So I actually have like quite a few Nendoroids from that series because of their accessories. So I have one like with a bar and like wine. I think a few of them came with like these Japanese tables, and so I literally bought them not because of the character, but because I wanted the accessories. But now I will say I don't really do that anymore because A, it's expensive, and B, now they're making these sets for Nendoroids, and just accessories in general. So there's really not a reason to be doing that anymore. But I remember, you know, like there's the buy, sell, and trade Nendoroid parts and pieces, and so I have so many Nendoroids that I just kind of want to get rid of. and just keep their accessories because I just don't care about the characters, and that's kind of maybe not a great thing, but it's something I did in the time. So that is Lebeccio. So my next figure on my Halloween list that I had a moment in time with was the Love Live School Idol project. So Nozomi and Ellie, I loved these two characters of Love Live. I only watched a few episodes of it, and I really didn't get into this series, but there's no reason why you can't like a character for their designs or their outfits. And so I really liked Ellie and Nozomi, and they seem to be friends. I have no idea, like, because I didn't watch the series, but they seem to be designed around each other. And they got these Halloween versions, or these Halloween idol outfits. I don't know if any of the other idols got them, but they did. And they're super cool, they're super detailed, and I like the design of these outfits. These figures were made by Alpha X Omega. I'm not familiar, I think maybe it's Alpha Max, some subsidiary of that, but I never ended up getting them because I still, every time I look at these figures, I'm like, do I really just buy them because of this, the season, Halloween, and I like that? Do I really just buy them because I like the designs? And so you make decisions on like, what's priority, and I always push characters that I don't know a lot about, or even Halloween, as not a priority in my figure list unless my month isn't so built up already. So at the time, my pre-orders were insane. Between 2016 and 2018, I was crazy. But still notable, I really like these figures. I like that Ellie has her pumpkin and the candy, and I like her design with her orange floof, her shoulder, her shoulder floofs. And they both have these witch hats, and of course, Nozomi gets this black and purple, outfit combination. So that's really cool. So I really like them. They definitely embody Halloween. If I would go back, yeah, for sure, I would think about getting them. But a lot of times I feel like I sell figures, and it's because I don't know enough about the characters. There's not a strong connection to them, and so I get cautious around that. So I definitely love these figures. Very Halloween, very spooky. So there is those figures. The next figure is from also kind of Alpha Max. Released in 2013, it's the Lamp Miku. Now, she literally looks like an android. She could be a part of what I had said earlier, like of the Android Miku grouping. And so one thing is, this figure was really popular at the time because I saw it so much on the website on MFC, and I was like, this was 2013. So granted, I was like, why? I can't do this. Like, I can't do Halloween figures. I was even more against it. I'm a lot more into it now, but this one I was like, no. Super cute though. Really popular. The design is amazing. She's incorporated with these lamps. She has a really nice cobblestone base. She has this creepy gate. So that's what I really like about this figure, and she's super cute as a chibi. I'm kind of surprised she didn't get like a more adult version, not chibi figure variant, but that's fine. But she's really cool. I thought she lit up initially with the lamps. But I don't think she does. But that would have been a really cool feature to have on this Miku, because she's the Lamp Miku. So that's what I remember of this Miku. So really detailed. Would I go back for this? I think she's small enough, and she was cheap enough, and she's probably still selling in the aftermarket around that same price of like $30. I would maybe think about it, but I typically don't even go backwards on a lot of these pre-owned figures. So, but I remember in the time, super cool, super amazing, very Halloween. Okay, so the next series that I have is the Touhou figures. Now Touhou, like, honestly, I label them very Halloween in the way that, they're vampires, or at least Flandre, Scarlet, and Remilia, her sister, vampires. And a lot of times, they're just in these kind of older looking dresses, and I don't even know that much about the game. I think it's a shooting game. So this is kind of a very similar situation to the Love Live thing. I don't know too much about it, but the designs are so good. And this one specifically, so Touhou in general can be Halloween, but QSQ had these two chibi figures of Flandre and Remilia, and fell in love with them. I didn't get them though. I really passed up on them because this was in 2015. I was still in college, so a little more strapped on the cash, had to make tough decisions. But they're super small and they're super cute, and I think they paired well with the lamp Miku, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even remember. I'm sure there's some user pictures on my MFC of them together because they were kind of released around a similar time period. So, but I never went after them. Of course, Remilia is sitting on a pumpkin, and Flandre, she's just holding this candy wrapper, and I love these detailed wings. I've never seen wings like that, where like there's crystals hanging off the wings, so I really like that. And of course, they're in a more Halloween outfit, black outfit rather than their traditional like white and red outfits. So I really like that. Would I go back? I think I would, because I'm recently starting to build my Touhou figure. So I've kind of waited for the right Flandre Scarlet figure, and I love the music that comes with the game. So sometimes I'll put on in the background when I'm studying or working. Touhou music will come up because it's so, I mean, it's very fast paced, lots of piano, like could never play piano like that, but I love the music, and so that's kind of how I got into it, and some of the music is super creepy. So kind of good for the season if I want to have a spooky soundtrack. So, but yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm trying to build up my Touhou figures. So the one I do have on pre-order, and so if I have this one on pre-order, I might have to go back for these cute chibis, is the Alter figure. And of course, Alter is super expensive now. I mean, they were expensive before, but now they're like just ridiculous. But I love it because it's a really nice Flandre Scarlet figure. So this one's costing like 30,000 yen, and I think it's a limited exclusive. I had to go on Ami for it, and I'm kind of scared for the cost. And the one thing I like about the Alter one is that she's a little bit more deviant in this rendition of her. A lot of the Flandre Scarlet figures are super cute, you know, like she's eating candy, maybe sometimes she got a pumpkin, like the Good Smile one. And, you know, like that's fine, I don't know, I feel like I want like something more like scary. And so Alter really delivered on that expression, and the base is amazing, and her pose is amazing, and the details are ridiculous. The outfit is just, it is demanding of that detail, and I know Alter's gonna deliver. I know Alter is probably gonna delay a million times just to get it right, which is fine. Delay all you want. I want a perfect figure. So that is kind of another figure that is I'm looking forward to in this Touhou spiel. So there's that. Okay, my last figure for Halloween inspiration and joys and things that relate to me is Morrigan. Morrigan is really not like a Halloween icon, but as being a succubus and kind of sinister and an anti-heroine, and then appearing in so many video games, like I love her literally just for her looks. And I don't think I've loved a character design more, except for Panty from Panty and Stocking. Or Stocking, both of them. But anyways, I really like the, you know, like the moe bangs, just the straight across kind of look, and Morrigan has that look that I love. She has the attitude of it. She's, you know, just very female dominating, and I like that. And her design is so good with the black and the purple and the leggings with the bats, and very demonic. So that one, that's a figure for me that stays with all year. I don't care like if it's Halloween or not. But a few figures that are very notable for me that of Morrigan that I love, 3 of them right off the bat. So 2009, Max Factory made a beautiful 1/6 scale Morrigan. I wish they would just remake it, remaster it, resculpt it. It's such a good design from Nishimura, and so I hope that one day they come to do that in 1/6 scale. She's a big 1/6 scale too. She's like 1/6, but more like 1.5. So that is amazing. She's kind of hard to get. Her base is flimsy as hell. I have this figure and I hate the base. It's not just because it's boring, but it's just flimsy. It does not support her. She's a big, heavy figure, and this base is like weighs nothing, and it's super frail now from 2009. So hope that they do that. Hope they re-release her with a better base, more stable, maybe some metal pegs. That'd be amazing. The next figure notable from Morrigan is the HMO statue. She's quarter scale, and she was like, I want to say like $700, but now she's like $3,000 in the aftermarket. She's ridiculous. And because she was only released in the Asia Pacific region, she was never really officially released for the US or anywhere else, really. And so amazing, because the illustration came from Stanley and Art Germ, and so good, so good, so hard to get. I have the Player 2 version, which is another color variant, but the original, you can't beat that green and that purple and the black. Just that combination is so good. And then the last one, of course, recently reviewed her. She's so amazing. That Shanya Yamashita Bishoujo from Kotobukiya, so good. I will say, initially I didn't like it because it was a little too playful, but she's also a succubus. So now I'm really liking, like where that comes from and a different expression. So I do enjoy that with the new Morrigan and from Koto. She's kind of small too. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of figures for Morrigan are quarter scale or more. So this is a great small option. Not everybody likes bigger is better. It's not the same for everyone. So excited to have all three of these and more, because of course Capcom, technically is labeled the manufacturer, has a few figures as well. But that's my figure list. That's the figures. Everything on this list I would have on a Halloween shelf, and most of these things on my list would stay out all year if I had the space. So I'm really excited. I hope to get the few things I had mentioned that are on pre-order or releasing soon. So look out for those hauls. If you enjoyed the content of me just kind of talking about figures, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Let me know what you thought. Are there any figures in your collection that are kind of spooky or Halloween focused? Let me know. But otherwise, look out for my next haul. I've also started a TikTok, which I'm kind of featuring a lot of spooky figures in there. Because again, dark figures in general can be Halloween. Like, it doesn't have to be pumpkins and orange and black. It can just be anything that's spooky. So I'm having fun on TikTok, making some videos, so look out there. Link is in the description. Otherwise, look out for my haul again. That should probably come up next weekend, early next week, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!